Hello, everyone. My name is Vernice, and this is my podcast, Speak Up. Shout out to my new listeners out there. Hope you guys are all enjoying your November. For those of you that don't know, the mission statement for this podcast is we'll use our voices to motivate people to overcome life's challenges through self love and respect. So, this is a place for self love and respect. I have a really cool guest tonight. I'm excited to pick his brain and learn more about his music. You guys give it up for artist Kijan Simmons. How you doing?
Thank you. I'm good. How are you?
Doing pretty good. Welcome to SpeakUpJV.
Happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Likewise. Let me give you your intro. So yes, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm a creative. I call myself a freelance creative because anything that has to do with creating good content and uplifting the people around me is what I'm into. So yeah, born and raised in LA.
Oh my God, I love that. I love that you said uplifting the people. So yeah, you are on the perfect platform right now.
Right.
That's all I need to do.
Seriously.
So you speaking of uplifting the people, what's a message you want listeners to receive from your music?
It's okay to not be okay.
Okay. That is huge.
Seriously.
In today's where I think we're in a time, especially with social media, we have to like put this mask on, like everything's okay. Sometimes it's okay just to admit it. And I think that's just half of the battle.
Right.
There.
No, seriously. And I've battled with that myself. I'm an Army veteran too. So
happy Veterans Day to you.
Thank you. Dealing with just the different battles that come with that. I was in the Army for 8 years. So transitioning out of that in the military, it's not really welcome to talk about your problems. So or at least it wasn't when I was in. Times change. But it's definitely important to just know like you're human. It's okay to feel things. It's okay to be upset, be sad. I was listening to a song today and it was like, if you need to cry, just cry, but it's just for tonight. Just don't linger on it, but feel what you gotta feel and move on. So yeah.
No, that is real big because I feel like I went through a rough patch early this year, and honestly what helped me was just acknowledging I wasn't okay and like crying it out, asking for the help that I needed. Honestly, it actually helped with the healing process of getting through it. So thanks for opening up about that. And so like what got you into music?
I started writing poetry as a way to express how I felt, honestly. Started when I was little. I mean, I was probably 6, maybe 7. I think I wrote my first poem and did my first talent show. And after that, I was in the quad in middle school and people were like freestyling and stuff in the quad. And I was like, I can do that. So I kind of just sped up one of the poems that I did. And I was like, okay, now it's a rap, So, so yeah, but I'm a lover boy at heart. So most of my songs are like love songs or stuff like that.
That's big. I actually like to write poetry too, and it's such a good outlet for all emotions. So shout out to the writers out there, creatives. Keep that pen moving. So speaking of, you just mentioned you're a lover boy, actually. So like, what was one of the first like R&B albums you fell in love with?
Ooh, Music Soul Child. I just want to say, I used to play that all the time. That's the first one where like I could really relate. It's not the first one I heard, but it's the first one I could really relate to because I want to say I was in middle school when that came out, maybe. But I just know I used to play it all the time, especially Love and Don't Change and like all those songs. So yeah, the Music Soul Child for sure.
I feel like it's definitely one of those things you turn on and it's like it takes you back to that time when you were younger and you're like, we didn't even really understand fully what those feelings were. It's like, wow,
Right.
Okay. And so you do have a song with Detroit Diamond. Shout out to her. And tell us about your collab, Don't Sleep.
Yeah, it's crazy because we actually did that song for a sync placement. I do mostly sync music full time, so which is basically getting music placed on TV shows and movies and stuff like that. So I reached out to her because I thought she would be like the perfect person to be featured on that song. And she was so up for it and she killed it for sure. So I had to rewrite my verses a little bit. I was like, you know what, let me come a little harder on this song because I can't let her outshine me. I gotta at least be equal to her level on this. But yeah, it was an amazing thing, and it's got picked up by a couple energy drink brands. I can't say the exact name of the brand right now, but it got picked up by a couple energy drink brands and a couple other motivational platforms. So
I love that. Well, shout out and congratulations. That is huge. And
Thank
keep
you,
look,
thank you.
keep going, keep going. That's big. And speaking of collabs, since we just brought up collabs, if you could collab with any artist, who would it be and why?
Ooh, Jill Scott.
Oh,
Jill
okay. We
Scott.
got
Yeah. Yeah, that would be a dope collab. There's a lot, but I think that would be the one that means the most to me.
Mhm.
Because when I was growing up, my mom used to play Jill Scott in the house all the time, like
Mm.
24/7.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think that would be the best collab right there.
Okay, I'll take
And
that.
Jill, if you're listening, look, I need that.
You look, put it out. We're gonna put it out there right now. And every
Right.
time I'm eating grits and eggs, I think of
Yeah, for real.
grits.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, okay. I love that. So actually, you just spoke about brand collaboration and things like that with music. So like, let's say there's an upcoming artist who like wants to really tighten up their networking skills, like with work with other brands and things like that. What's a piece of advice you would get to someone who's like just starting out, but like wants to get their music out there to other platforms, like how you do?
Um, Find your voice first.
Mhm.
That's the main thing, because I had tried to get into this space for a couple years, and it was because I was trying to imitate other people. Once
Mm.
I found my own voice and found my own niche and what I wanted to talk about, um, things just gravitate towards you. I promise. Like it's like you make a song, and as long as you're like passionate about the song, that passion is gonna attract the platform for you. So
Mhm.
yeah, I would just say find your voice, and definitely learn your craft.
Mhm.
You got to learn your craft. You got to have that foundation. You got to know the ins and outs of the paperwork side of it, because it's a lot of paperwork. And also the ins and outs of protecting yourself with the publishing rights and stuff like that, just so you don't get messed over. So yeah.
I'm glad you brought up the legalities. Nobody talks about that. So yes, y'all, look, take notes on that.
For real.
That was some great advice. Thanks for sharing that. Because I mean, it's a lot of things that don't get talked about. I got to bring up social media again. I just feel like too with social media, it makes people imitate others. Oh, they did it this way. I'm gonna do it that way. And you're right. It's hard for people to find
Exactly.
their voice and their own identity to do their craft. So
For sure.
well said. And any before we get into the episode, any upcoming
Yeah.
projects or shows or anything you want to shout out?
So many things. If y'all haven't streamed Family Business New Orleans yet, make sure y'all go and stream that. It's on BET Plus right now. It came out earlier this year, but every Thursday they just did the season finale, but it's the reruns are still going on. And BET Plus, the app, you can watch it on there. And your boy is on there. Also, Beast Games on Prime.
Mhm.
Go ahead and check that out. It's definitely a good show. Mr. Beast is the host, and we filmed that over Las Vegas and Toronto, Canada. So it's a good show. Upcoming, I have an album coming out on New Year's. Uh,
Oh. Mhm.
yeah, album coming out, and it's called Just Dope Music. So just definitely be on the lookout for that.
Okay, I'm gonna give you applause for that one.
Thank you.
Make sure y'all tap in. But you guys, let's get into the ask up question of today. So tonight's episode is titled "Pour Up," and we're going to be talking about the importance of pouring into your own cup and motivating yourself. I mean, I think this is very important, especially right now. The holidays coming up, it's the end of the year. I think we kind of slow down and things like that. And it's like I think we still have to keep ourselves motivated during this time. So the actual question of the day: if you're out there listening, please comment. I always go back and read the comments. I'm gonna answer first, and then I'm gonna let you answer. So tonight's actual question of the day is: how has self motivation impacted your life? Wow. I feel like self motivation has definitely rewired my brain. I talked about this in earlier episodes back when the show first started. I used to really struggle with negative self talk. Like that was like one of my biggest things that hindered my growth, hindered me as a person. And once I started rewiring that, and reframing that self doubt and turning it to self motivation, I really seen positive effects in my life, and it made me really believe I can do other things and branch out. And when you're kinder to yourself, you're just kinder to others, you're kinder to your dreams, and you just go after it. So, what about you? How has self motivation impacted your life?
Um, it made me get out my box. I was in the box.
Mm,
I I joined. I mentioned going to the military. I joined the military so that I could have a fresh start and like learn new things, see new places, and learn new skills, stuff like that.
mhm,
Um, but being in the military, in the unit that I was in, I was in special operations, and I was alone for a lot of the time. And it's easy to be motivated in the military when you have your whole unit behind you and your whole team behind you. But
mhm,
when you're out there by yourself, It's not that easy. When you get tired, it's nobody saying, "Come on," you got to say it to yourself. There's nobody telling you, like, especially when keeping in shape overseas too. If you don't have that camaraderie, it's very hard to just keep that discipline. So mine was affirmations. Once I started doing affirmations every morning, that's what really made the switch flick in my head. It's just like, okay, I'm going to do these affirmations. I'm going to tell myself that I'm the best that I can be, and I'm not going to let, mediocrity enter into my life today. And, after that, I'm just, I'm super motivated. But I do it in the mirror. So it's like, it's me talking, but it kind of tricks your mind. It's like somebody else telling you, like, you are this, like, So yeah, that's what my experience has been. And I still do my affirmations every morning. So
I love that. That is so great. Like, I heard like wise people say too, like even talking to your baby picture.
yeah,
It's like we wouldn't tell a baby some mean things like you're ugly or whatever. So it's like you're still like I heard we're still that baby. We're still that person. So
exactly.
I love that. So you guys, let's talk about the importance of motivating yourself and pouring into your own cup. So this is big. I feel like I really had to learn this one. I've been in a season of being okay with saying no and not being so available, like to pour into others' cup. Not like, yeah, I'm a very giving, loving person, but I realize my cup now, really right now, needs to be poured into, and that's okay. And I learned it's okay, like to take care of yourself and pour into yourself, so that way when you're back on full, it's the overflow that you're sharing versus
Exactly.
you on empty barely. It's easy for us to pour into other people's cup, but that's like, why can't we pour into our own sometimes? Like, why is it so hard for us to do that? So I feel like self-motivation, it sparks that flame for you to do others and then have that domino effect to inspire others.
For sure. I definitely agree. I actually collab with a brand out in LA, head of tire trendsetter, Mel, that's my guy. He does it first hit my brain. It was that Black Market Fleet, and it first like drew my attention because it's all about self-love. He has a jacket that where if you look in the mirror, it says self. It's reverse when you look at it in person, but when you look in the mirror, it says self-love, and I'm like, that's dope. So all of his attire is like that. So shout out to him because he's always showed love for like the last few years with all the attire and stuff. So, but that's another reminder to myself, even when my mind goes astray. Sometimes I'll catch a glimpse in like a mirror or a window or something, and I'm just like, yeah, that's right, self-love. I gotta make sure I love myself, make sure I do everything I need to do to keep myself afloat, because I can't keep other people afloat if I'm not. So
Oh, that is well said. And yeah, we do need those reminders. I used to write on mirrors too with like lipstick, like whatever that is, saying something to remind me to say that to myself, whatever it
yep.
is. So y'all remind yourselves, okay? Let's do it. So I know you mentioned affirmations and self-love. First, so what's your favorite way to pour into your own cup besides motivation?
Honestly, now it used to be, it kind of still is music, but it used to be creating music. But now that music is also an occupation, it's more of silence and peace. I have to take moments for myself. That's how I pour into myself. I take moments of silence. I just sit and just stare out, enjoy nature, things like that, and that kind of re-energizes me. It helps me not be so distracted by everything, because one, doing music, you're listening to frequencies, a whole lot of different frequencies that the human ear is not used to, and also with just all the different businesses that I'm a part of. It's like I have all these. I always go back to the Wolf of Wall Street. I have all these like like all these frequencies in my head, and it's like sometimes you just need silence. So, and that was hard for me to get used to, but I'm used to it now, and I really enjoy it because being from LA, we're always on the move, so it's hard to just sit in one place and not start thinking about what you could be doing. So
that is so true. I've been learning to sit still, and I feel like I could hear God better too when I just sit still, because you got around noise all day. It's like you just confused and all over the place. So good tip. Look, I hope y'all taking notes out there. You dropping gems already. But you guys, it's now time for the tweet up section. See, I know I like to be on Twitter, X, whatever they want to call it. Something that I tweeted this week that goes with tonight's episode is, you need you the most when challenges kick in. So, we give yourself grace like you do others. Like my best friend used to always say this, just like when one of your friends is going through something, we give them grace. Like, oh, this just happened to them. We give them a big hug. We're there. But sometimes we're hard on ourselves when like we're going through a challenge. We feel like we should be doing more. Or like you said, we can't sit still because we're like,
Right.
I need to be doing this. Why I have this free time? I don't deserve this free moment. And I've been learning I need me the most when those challenges kick in. Like that's when I actually need to really be more present, be more self-motivated, and be more nicer. So I think that's something I wanted to tie into that.
No, for sure.
Yeah. So speaking of challenges and things like that, so doing music can sometimes be a challenging journey. How do you
Absolutely.
motivate yourself when the path seems rocky?
Whew. That's a good question.
I hear that every episode. Yes.
Right? That is a
I
good
love
question.
that. That means I'm doing a
How
good job.
do I motivate myself? Honestly, sometimes it's not motivation. I'm gonna be completely honest.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just sticking to the discipline and just putting one foot in front of the other. And no matter how
Hey.
tired you are, I promise. Like, I guess that motivation. I guess that I can tie in the motivation with looking at the outcome of what
Mhm.
I will get for accomplishing it, as opposed to the current moment, like the present moment.
Mm.
So yeah, it's mostly the discipline, but I guess the discipline comes from like, well, I know if I get this done, this is gonna happen. So let me just go ahead and get it done and make sure that it's the best that I could do, because my name's attached to it, and I want anything with my name attached to it to be phenomenal, right? So
Mhm. I love that you brought up discipline because you're right. Sometimes it is at the end of the day about balance. Like I know we're talking about like being there for yourself, but then yeah, you still need that discipline sometimes, even when things get hard. So I love that. Okay, it is now time for the life up segment. So it's the life up segments when I take the topic and I relate it to a problem in today's world. So tonight's life up is trying to pour from an empty cup, which you just talked about, listening to self doubt instead of self motivation, and not surrounding yourself with a motivating environment.
ooh,
These are big ones. I feel like when you're pouring into your cup, that environment that's not motivating, they're gonna have a problem with that. They're gonna be the ones making you feel guilty. They're gonna be the ones that the people that are just used to like benefiting off you not loving yourself.
yep,
And I feel like I've had to learn that the hard way, definitely. And I think the people who could respect that boundary or are plotting you pouring into your own cup, those are real people to kind of keep around you in your circle.
for sure.
And and then they're not going to allow you to even pour from an empty cup. If they know your cup's empty, they're going to allow you. They're going to either pour into it and then give you the space so you can pour into your cup as well. So,
Right.
any thoughts on the life up?
Yeah, definitely that environment portion. And I know sometimes people don't have control. Like not everybody is fortunate enough to be able to work in their own space. So
Mm,
so sometimes you have to be around other people or environments that are not conducive to what you want to be doing. But
mm,
that just means in the time that you're not there, you have to make sure that you help yourself overflow in that motivating environment. So you need to find an environment that is prosperous for you in what you're doing. And I don't it can be anything. I like spa days. I'm a
I'm big on
self-care
that.
person. Look, I'm a self-care person. I'll go get a massage in a minute. Like
Right? You my last. I'm in there.
for real. So yeah, I mean, you gotta make that time and find that time, even if it's just talking to a loved one that motivates you, or maybe you're doing something so that they can be in a better position. Like just make sure that you make that time to do that, because it's easy to get stressed out and discouraged when you're in an environment that's not motivating.
Okay, that was well said. I'm gonna snap to that. So, always do it. How do we fix this? So, you just gave some solutions, and I want to add on: pour into yourself first and transmute doubt into motivation. So, I think sometimes you just got to take that and rewire that, like no, and change, like
Hmm.
catch yourself. And I think also when I was working on my self talk, I had to really work on it. Like if I got to the point, if I said something negative to myself, I would like fix it, and correct it, or apologize to myself. And we have to do that too sometimes when that self doubt kicks in, because things do get hard. I'm not gonna act like I don't be going. Yeah, them challenges be hitting. It's like you in your mind, like, what am I doing? But then you just have to rewire that, and have that grace. So I love
Yeah,
that.
seriously.
So speaking of self doubt, what's a piece of advice you would give to a person who wants to work on letting go of their own self doubt?
Oh, therapy. Therapy. I'm a big advocate for therapy. It's helped me, and that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to have somebody that's like a licensed therapist, but that's just having that one person that you can talk to that's non-judgmental, and that would give you objective advice and not a biased opinion. As long as you can have that, that's an outlet to let your emotions out, outlet to have everything that you're thinking in your head come out, and then you can, come to a solution together, or you can just. Sometimes that just helps you talk through it. Sometimes I'll talk to people about my issue, and I'll have the solution in my head just by talking about it, and they haven't said a word. So sometimes you just need to talk it out.
I love ain't that the best when you like I had the answers the whole time.
Right.
Okay, I love it. Yeah, we are advocates for therapy on here. Yes, well said. But you guys, it is now time for the drink up segment. This is the drink up segment. If you're out there listening, please pull out some water and drink some water. And I have a drink up water fact for tonight. Tonight's drink up water fact is the first inevitable benefit of drinking water is a boost in your energy level. Water helps boost your body circulation, sending extra oxygen to your muscles, cells, organs, and brain. Oftentimes, when you're feeling tired or having mood swings, it might just be because your body needs some extra oxygen, according to ACAC.com. So let's drink this water, boost energy.
Right.
Yeah, and I always emphasize it when it's getting colder because I feel like people don't drink as much when it's getting colder. So still drink your water.
Yeah, I guess people don't feel like dehydrated or something, but that's actually the worst time. You need to be drinking more water.
Look, drink water so you can pour into your cup.
Right.
Back to the episode. So, I'll be lurking on my guest page. So, I get to lurking on yours. So I saw, so tell us about your Flourish Fridays and what's the story behind starting it?
Yeah. So I'm actually about to start that again. Flourish Fridays was created for me to be in my so basically, let me start over. Basically what it was for me to do a motivational quote or a speech or something like that, then drop a song every Friday. So during the week, I would have a topic. I would create a song or write it on Monday. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I would mix, master, and all that stuff. And then I would send it to the distros and it would come out that Friday. And I did that every week for a year.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Discipline.
2 songs where it was like, okay, now I know I can do this. But one, it created repetition for myself. So I got way better and faster at my craft. And then also it helped me just know that I could do it, because it's easy to get stressed out with deadlines and stuff. But if I can make a song in a week, and making an album in a year is nothing, So
really, yes,
yeah.
So you said it reminded me of Marathon Mondays, Nipsey,
Yeah. That was actually part of my motivation for it, honestly.
Look,
I used to tap in all the time, so yeah.
Hey, well, shout out to you for that. I love that. Like, I love when you can set a goal for yourself and create some type of discipline, and just it gets done. You realize how much you can get done. I think too, when you put it out and open, like you said, like it's posted, so everyone's seeing it, and it's like okay, and it's
right.
Like, I think as a community, everyone can like hold you accountable to whatever that goal is. So
for sure,
congrats to you on it.
And they definitely did. I think it was one or two times where I missed it, or it didn't come out like at the time. It was like a few hours late, and they was like, Flourish Fridays. And I'm like
we ain't flourishing. we need some water. We need to flourish.
Right.
Oh, I love it. Well, okay. Well, I already know you're gonna do well when you start it back up. So we're rooting for you. But you guys, it is now time for the show up segment. So this is the show up segment. So if you're out there listening, please comment. How did you show up for yourself this week? I'm gonna go ahead and comment first. How did I show up for myself this week? Ooh, you know what? I stayed. So I said this last episode that I started going to the gym. I'm still consistent with it. So That's how I started for myself. I feel like I'm really on like a really good routine right now. That's really good for my mental health, my mind, my energy flow. And I'm feeling really good right now and energized, just like that water post said. So that's how I showed up for myself.
Nice.
Thank you. How did you show up for yourself this week?
This week I showed up for myself by saying no to something that would have overextended myself.
Yes. I'm a recovering people pleaser, so
Right.
I'm here for this conversation. For that, yes. Expand on that a little more. Is there anything else you want to add to that? I'm curious to hear
Yeah,
how
no,
that's
just
been.
I'm a workaholic, so I'm the type of person that I'm like, if I can help and I can cram it in there, I'm gonna do it. So, but
Yeah.
this week I started feeling under the weather, and I won't say sick because it wasn't like a full blown illness, but yeah, I started feeling under the weather, and then I started like just realizing that I need to take that time that I was saying that I take for myself. I wasn't taking it. And so accepting the offer that I got would have meant me continuing not to take the time for myself. So yeah, no, I'm taking that time, and I need to rejuvenate, and we can come back around later.
Hey, I do like that sometimes, but you feel so. At first, it's hard, but I noticed the more I've been saying no, it's been easier. Like it's like
Right.
getting easier. I'm 31 years old, so I feel like when I hit my 30s, that's when it like the I don't give a F started really coming in for me
Yep.
personally, and it's getting as I'm getting. Oh, I'll be 32 in a few months. It's just getting easier and easier. Like to just no, when they working, I'm at the spot.
Right.
I'm playing.
Seriously.
But yes, okay. Well, I'm gonna clap for you for that because that's great. Okay. So yeah. So anyway, back to the episode. So good self motivation doesn't require outside validation. I feel like a guy I think about. Well, I don't know his name, but I'm pretty sure you know who I'm talking about. That guy who be dancing, hype me up. I hype me
Yeah.
up. Like at first when you first seen his post, where people were laughing, oh he's and I just seen. I saw on Instagram he was on the court at the Hawks game doing the
Yep.
dance, getting paid for it most likely. So what I'm trying to say is, it's like he don't care about that outside validation. He hyping himself up, and now he getting paid for doing that same dance move,
Yep.
and he's on everyone's timeline viral for just hyping himself up and not caring and motivating himself. And I think sometimes we care so much what other people think, or like going against the grain, coming out of our comfort zone, that we're not doing what our spirit is actually calling us to do. So
Serious. Yeah.
I don't know. Shout out to him. It made me. I don't know. I'm a big Laker fan, so seeing it was on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at him, and I was just happy. Like, you know what, he did that. So
Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah, that's definitely a big one, because you just can't care what other people think, because there's too many opinions that are accessible now. Like we were talking about with social media, you cannot care. Like it will literally drive you crazy.
literally. So just do you, hype yourself up and keep it pushing. So that's big. So I love to ask all my guests a fun question. So your fun question for tonight is, so this is for our age group. So if you were paid $1 million to recite the song track numbers to any hip hop album, which one would it be? So like how we remember albums, like number 1 was blah, number 2 was blah.
Yeah.
Is there any album that sounds to you remember the track numbers?
Oh my goodness, you put
I
me
know.
on the spot right
Yeah, I know. I've been sitting there. I know. I think
now.
there has to be something.
Hip hop album.
Or it could be R&B too. Like
There's a few.
like yeah.
R&B. It would be Usher's album.
Which one?
I know, right? I thought I was going to
Confessions.
with that. Look,
I know you tried to get through. I'm like, what you got?
No, I could definitely do Confessions.
I
I could
that.
also do. Now I'm about to put my foot in my mouth. I could also do, what was it, 90.
Oh, two. Okay, I'm messing up.
The one with yeah.
Oh my goodness, what is it right now? 2-8. Oh my god. Okay, y'all don't
Right,
laugh at me on
right.
speaker.
No, for real, they about to eat us up in the
They're
comments.
about to eat us up. That one, yeah. I'll put it in the caption.
Right.
I'll put it you on blast. I can't even think of the track team. But yeah, okay, I'll give you that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that was well said. I
Look,
know.
I'm gonna turn the question back around. What about you?
I could do Chris Brown's album, his first
Okay,
one for sure.
okay.
I remember just playing that over and over again. Emancipation of Mimi for sure, and like the Carter 3, I would say. Lil Wayne, the Carter 3. Yeah. We played. Come on, we outplayed that when that came out.
Yeah,
Like, you
no, for
should know.
sure.
Okay, all right, that was great. So back to the episode. But yeah, at the end of the day, y'all, self-motivation comes from being kind to yourself. I feel like that's just the root of it. It starts there, because I feel like, how could you motivate yourself and you're mean to yourself? You're not actually motivated. There's so many times I've been in my own way. literally, because it was this lack of me motivating myself. And I feel like once you start there, like you really do not need a bunch of yeses to do the yeses you're trying to do.
Exactly.
It's real big. But yeah, it is now time for the wrap-up segment. So how does this relate to self-love? Self-love is loving yourself enough to want to pour into your own cup, to know when to say no when it comes to pouring into other people's cup if your cup is on empty. So these are very important things that we talked about through this episode. So how do you practice self-love?
Ooh, that's a good question. I practice self-love in many ways. Number one, like I said, I take time for myself, but I also make sure that I pour into others because that helps me to feel fulfilled. I make sure that I motivate the people that are around me, that I set a good example, keeping a structure in my life, and taking my spa days. You know, I have to keep saying it because I
was about to say it
massage
for
like
you.
every week. Look,
Yes,
so,
look.
so I gotta have my self-care and my spa days. Yeah,
Nope.
that's how I do it.
You just confirmed me to go ahead and book mine because I was
There you
actually
go.
posted that yesterday. I was like, a spa day's calling my name. Then I interviewed you, and now you talking about it. So,
Yep.
all right, spa day coming soon. And final question I love to ask all my guests: what do you want to be remembered for?
I want to be remembered as a kind-hearted person who turned moments into music and opportunity into legacy.
I love that. That was a nice professional answer. So yeah, you on the huge stage. Please say that one. I love that. But yeah, you guys, water your plants, then water others. You know, like they say on the airplane, you got to put your mask on first. Always. I mean, that's just a good quote right there. And self motivation starts from within. So that's just where we at with it. I appreciate you coming on here. This was a really good discussion, and I know we're gonna touch a lot of lives out there. Whoever tunes in.
For sure.
Before we go, shout your information out. Where can we find you and tune into your music?
Yeah, you can find me on all social media platforms at Kijan_CEO. That's KIJAN_CEO, creating extraordinary opportunities. And you can find my name, Kijan Simmons, on all streaming platforms to stream my music. And you know, if you want to use it for a reel, or you need a song made for your significant other, I'm the guy for you.
Mm-hmm. And if you want something to hear in your headphones at the spa, make sure you turn this
right.
I love that. Thank you again. And you guys, thank y'all for tapping into this wonderful episode of SpeakUpJV. I'll be back with another episode. Make sure you follow at SpeakUpJV. My personal is at Vernice. We're on Twitter, X, YouTube, Apple, and Spotify. And tell your friends about SpeakUpJV. Remember, pour into your cup this month. Pour into your cup. I love you guys. Have a good one.